And back here, CRS 2023 at Whiskey and Stronger. CJ Whiskey did work here. Presented by our friends at Bangtail Whiskey, live at the Omni Hotel here, of course, CRS 2023, and also our friends at Gentle Ben Spirits, and of course out there too as well, Honky Tonk Texas, Boot Barn, and Fast Signs. Please welcome in. We love doing them on the fly. He's here. The legend, Tracy Lawrence, here at the Omni Hotel. What's up, man?
Living the dream, baby. That's what we say.
He's got the Arkansas Razorback cap on today, and you know it's Grand Slam sports and music. We put them together here on that. So let's talk about this real quick, all right? Because I don't want to get too much and rub it the wrong way. But Razorbacks, good run this year.
Good run, man. We just had the SEC tournament here right next to you here at the Bridgestone. And I think they've got that event nailed down until 2030, which I'm excited about. I hope I get a chance to make it in the next few years. Arkansas looked pretty good, man, but they tend to fall apart, you know, in the end of the second half all year long. And you know, A&M, man, they had that little buzzer beater, man, when we were coming in for halftime, man. He hit that little bank shot right there that looked really good, and they were up quite a bit, and then it just the wheels kind of came off as we went through. But A&M's a real good ball team, man. They came out, they finished well. And just kind of see how the national championship goes. But it's been exciting ball this year.
Got to go to the SEC tournament game when I flew into town. Didn't even know they were playing here in Nashville too. They secured it, like you said, 2030, what have you too. A&M came out pretty good, but I tell you, Alabama's tough. 6'9", tough ball club.
Tough ball club. But you know, that we watched a lot of our SEC go away. You know, Vanderbilt got beat. I think Kentucky got knocked out.
Yep.
But A&M and Alabama are pretty dang stocked this year.
Well, I tell you what, man, you're celebrating, I mean, just many milestones in this. And still today we talk about the music that stands the test of time. We've had so many great guys. Exile come here today, McBride and the Ride.
Oh, yeah.
Shenandoah going to be here with us this week too as well. But it's your songs, to me, as a country music fan, love vinyl records, love going to shows, support you guys buying the records and your fans. Those songs today make it a little bit of a comeback. SiriusXM Prime Country and other outlets getting behind Sticks and Stones and all the great tunes you had. Talk about just what that means to you, and the fact is that music still today is timeless.
Yeah, you know, I've pondered on that a lot too. You know, 90s country is really having a huge resurgence right now. I wonder how much the COVID lockdowns had on that, because I think people wanted to kind of get back to a little bit of a more familiar place. It was a little bit more comfortable. So I think all that music, man, for people our age, it's a very comfortable, really joyous time. I think the music from the 90s is going to become what we know as classic rock now in the country format. I believe that's going to be what we belong to, because it's got all the elements. It's got good full band stuff, fiddle and steel. You know, it was good country music. It had a nice edge to it, and it was just such a great time to be in the business, man. I missed that time.
Well, that time, I feel like, I mean, me being a young artist and writer, you know, I grew up listening to you. I grew up listening to Whitley and Daryl Singletary, as we talked earlier, doing a project with him, stuff to commemorate. It's live. It's real stories.
It really is, and I see the songwriting. A lot of young kids evolving back to that. I was at the gym the other day working out, and I listened to Laney Wilson's current album from top to bottom, and it's just the imagery and the songwriting and just the track structure and everything, the way that the producer put that record together. It's traditional country, but it's still interesting and it's fresh.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of young artists that are really good songwriters, and I think the strength of country music is coming back.
Last time you and I talked, you did actually a 3-part project. I know Hindsight 2020 was out. This Volume 3's out now. We had talked, I believe, when Volume 1 came out through a show we did. Man, you put out, again, just some great music, too. And I really love this kind of – it's a little bit of that old school flavor that you bring to, too. But you brought some new stuff to this style of music. Talk about Hindsight and how it's doing.
We did that album. That whole package has been great, and we're still selling a lot on the road. So we cut that in to commemorate my 30th anniversary in the business. So I did 3 separate albums, 10 songs apiece, 30 songs for 30 years. So the first one had 10 brand new things. I wrote 9 of the 10. Second album had 5 new songs and 5 remake of old hits. So I wrote all 5 of the new things. Third album, I think I wrote 2 or 3 things on it. Plus it had Time Marches On and Paint Me a Birmingham and a couple of big records on it. So and we have put those in a 3-disc package. So we've been selling those things on the road, and that's been a huge thing for us this year, because it's got all people's favorite hits and stuff, plus a lot of new stuff. And I'm playing quite a few new things in the live show too, so that's been real good. You know, that album came out a little over a year ago. That whole package finished up. So I didn't write it all last year because I wrote so much up to it that I needed a gap year. So I'm just starting to get my creative wheels turning. I'm hoping probably in the next 6 months I'll try to get back in the studio and put something new.
Yeah, it's one thing I know musicians never rest on their laurels. There's always something out there too as well, or at least a few songs kind of written there to get ready for the next project. How excited are you to get back in there now to put out even more great stuff too that you may have written during COVID or kind of getting it out there?
You know, I am, but I mean, everything that was written through COVID, I mean, my will went dry, man. By the time I hit that last record, I mean, the last few songs I wrote were awful. You know, you just kind of hit that wall. So that's why I just needed to recharge the batteries. You know, but I'm excited about where I'm at right now. I'm not going to be rushed going into it, but it's time to start writing a little bit again and kind of start moving in that direction.
And it's good to see the touring kind of pick back up. You mentioned just getting back on stage, doing what you guys, do best out there in the crowds, just gravitating out there, singing the songs back to you again. After you went through that little dry period, great to see fans showing up again, right?
And the fans have been showing up in huge numbers. I mean, ticket sales have been great. Merch numbers have been great. It's just been a lot of fun. We've been out with Clay Walker and I are finished up. We got 3 shows this weekend. When I leave CRS, I'm heading back out west. And then Gary and Alan and I will be hooking up, doing a bunch of shows in May and June. And hopefully that's going to probably parlay to some stuff in the fall. So a lot of good stuff on the horizon.
I got to ask you about one that, again, stand the test of time here, but Somebody Paints the Wall.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure even today you love singing that one too, right?
I do it from time to time. It's one that I pull out of the archives every now and then. You know, what a great traditional country song. Just the imagery of that, man. It's just hardcore country. And I love that stuff.
My favorite, I know it's huge for you, is still Time March's song.
Oh,
I
what a
remember
great
being 5 years old or 6 and listening to that, singing it. You know, my dad had a deep voice, and so he'd pick us, they'd play honky tonks and have a good time. And it just, that song.
Such a great song, man. Great record, man. It's
Absolutely.
timeless. You know, somebody else will cut that again.
Yeah.
It will find a new life, man.
Absolutely. I'd love to do it with you, man.
Absolutely.
Revive it.
A lot of great writers in this town. I've gotten to meet them since I've been in town, flew in on Saturday. Just hidden talent now. This industry is pretty healthy right now, right?
I think it is. I think there's a this great crop of young singers, songwriters, amazing young musicians in town. I see the session world changing a lot. There's just some really good players out there now. And I think it's healthy and vibrant. I think we're in a good place.
I love it too as well too. Well, I tell you, a lot of exciting projects coming up for this guy too as well. All right, what are you most excited about for the NCAA tournament? It's unpredictable now, right?
Oh shoot, man! I haven't seen the brackets. I mean, I haven't seen how the bracket came out about who's playing.
Well, I know Houston got a number 1 seed, I believe. Purdue got in there too as well. I think Kansas was another one too.
Kansas always there. They're dangerous.
Alabama got the 4th for winning the SEC tournament too as well. So to me, it's unpredictable because there's no clear-cut winner. Duke wasn't expected to win the ACC.
As much as I despise them, and I have some people in the office that are from Alabama, I still got to go in the SEC from Alabama. It's a painful thing to do, but I got to go there.
All right, let's do a little football right now.
Okay.
Football coming up too. I know Titans are kind of state of flux. I mean, there's all these 32 teams now looking to put their mark on the NFL draft, and of course going into the football season coming up in August and into the 18 weeks of now playing. Who kind of sticks out for you right now, kind of early on? Of course, the draft's going to tell a lot too.
The draft's going to tell a lot, and it's fascinating watching what's happening up at Green Bay. I've known Brett Favre. I mean, I go back to those days when I was a Packer fan. You know, I think I don't think it's been signed, but I think they got the deal done for Aaron Rodgers to move to the Jets. It's going to be okay. Well, I tell you, who's going to be a sleeper team this year is Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence, man, that boy, they're building a team around him. They could be very, very dangerous this year. I'm telling you, they could be dangerous.
You know, Jimmy G went to the Raiders today.
Did he really?
He did.
A lot of moving around.
They signed his contract.
That's why it gets so hard to be a fan of a team, because you get attached to players and you start following all that stuff. You get them on, and then they move somewhere else. It's really hard, man. There's just so many moving parts in it these days.
When I ain't got my cowboy hat on, I got my Houston Oilers.
There you go. That's old school right there.
So we come back, and so when I moved to Nashville, Oklahoma didn't have a team, but we had Houston Oilers. I stuck with them. And then when Chris Johnson came around, he was just, I loved watching him.
Oh, yeah.
Then you got King Henry, and now he's on the trading block. So how do we feel as the Titans, being in the Tennessee environment,
I don't know. I still think they're looking for stability, but, you kind of wonder, you get guys like Derrick Henry that get those huge paydays. It's kind of hard to hold on to them. You build a team around, and you've got such a small window of time to be able to get to the pinnacle. And if you don't, you got to back up and restructure. It's like Dallas. Dallas is in that situation. Of course, they've been there. I don't know what they're going to do with Dak, but there's a lot of things going on around the NFL. Obviously, I follow football a lot more than I do basketball.
Yeah, I do too, and I love the Panthers getting rid of more for that first pick.
Yep.
I think they're going to go with Anthony Richardson. I think he's a can for them, and I think they love that. Even though it's different people in front of the house, I still feel like that's their representation of who they are in the football team.
Yeah.
I got to ask you about this because last time we talked to your podcast is actually really amazing. I love listening to it. Tell people where they can find it, and you put on some amazing guests on your show, Tracy.
Yeah, the podcast started in the fall of last year. It's called T.O.'s Roadhouse. We actually do all the episodes from the front lounge of my tour bus, and it's just been a lot of fun. I've had Jelly Roll on. I've had Dustin Lynch on. Hardy's been on. Lady Wilson. Golly, just Mike Ray. There's just a whole slew of folks that have been on. That's been really fun, and I've enjoyed getting to know a lot of the younger artists that I wouldn't have an opportunity to do the other way. Being able to sit down and having conversations with those kids that they want to do. And we're trying to schedule stuff right now. Everybody's working so much right now. That's probably everybody's on the road.
On the road touring again too as well. He's back out there again. Hindsight 2020 Volume 3. It's out across all the digital platforms. You guys check it out. Volume 2 and 1. More to come here from CRS 2023. Live at the Omni Hotel. It is the Backstage Pass presented by Bangtail Whiskey, Gentle Ben Spirits, and Honky Tonk Texans. The legend, Tracy Lawrence. Appreciate you, brother.
Good to see you.
Always good seeing you here. More to come. Stay tuned.
And here, I got a gift for you.